In this video, we are going to look at how to break the x-axis and the y-axis when you have got some data. So let me start with the problem. The problem started when we had a graph and we wanted to break the column. So no, that's why Excel sucks and I don't use Excel. But yes, the problem started when we had a graph and we want to break the x-axis or the y-axis. So in Excel you can do that using stacked graph. So you can stack one over the other and break it. It's a very uh, old way to do that, and you cannot have more than one bar graph. So now we are going to check how to do this using a library called Plotrix. The references are given here, and I'm going to upload the script as well. So let's look at example 1. The first step is to get these three variables inside, understand what plot is doing, what points is doing, and what axis break is doing. So I'm going to first run the three lines. So we get the three variables inside. Next we are going to plot it. So we got the plot of XYZ. Now we are going to get these points XZ colored in red. Now we are going to use this library Plotrix and break it. So you see here the break comes at 2. The first argument here means it's the x-axis, and the second argument means where do you want to put the break. So that's what the syntax goes. Now let's check another thing. Suppose you want to remove all this blank space in between. You see there is a great blank space between 2 and 8. I want to remove all this blank space. So I will say that wherever x is greater than 4, bring it 6 to the left. So I want this to be left, 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 left. That's my first step. Once that is done, so let me show you that. So I have brought everything to the first. Now I have removed the x-axis. Why? Because I have played around with the x-axis, because now those points really don't are the real points. So now I'm going to play around with the x-axis. So wherever x-axis was greater than 2, I put x80 plus 6 and so on. And by manipulating that, I made these points higher. So I changed these points which I was using down. And if x80 is greater than 2, then x80 plus 6. So whatever point was here which was greater than 2, I added 6. So this before moving it ahead was like 2.5. This was 2. So that's how we labeled it. And now we are going to put this break sign at the place where we want to put 2. So you see here there is a break at 2. So we were able to put a break of 2, get all those blank space. Let me re-show you how this looked like before we breaked it, and how this looked like after we break it. So this looks much better. We can do the same on y-axis. So suppose we want to break something in the y-axis, we would do the same. The change of status is that we are going to remove every y point that is greater than a number. We are going to use the same command. So we are going to make a few changes. That this axis, we are going to turn y-axis off first, because y-axis no longer represents the right reality. We are going to then draw it where we'll make this S2 and this S2, and this is how we broke the y-axis, but other points are like the way they are. So this is a blank space, but we broke the space. Now I just did it, and we might have missed some points in between because I just used the example to break it. So this was about breaking the axis, x and y axis in R, of a multi-dimensional data where you have many columns.